Hello folks once again, and welcome to Market Correction Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com for August 2nd, 2007. What we're going to first do is go over some technicals of how the market performed today and understand how we made the call of what the market would do yesterday in the video, and again the call was directly on. And we're also going to just quickly review our yesterday's video to discuss how that all plays into effect, alright, and where that's going to go between ABC up patterns and what we're doing before our next big move down. And yes, we are expecting another move down. It probably won't come till next week though, folks, unless there's some major news story that's going to break. But as of now, the technicals in the market dictate that we started our correction of the correction right now, which is a slight bounce back in the market. We need to trail off slowly one of these next couple days, and then we're going to push up one more time, and then we're going to do our C pattern down. Alright, so we did our A pattern, our B pattern, which would be the up pattern, and then again the big push down, which is going to break the low from yesterday by more than enough and take us all the way down farther. Alright folks, so that's again how we made the call based on what the market needed to do. Was we called for 1440 on the SPX, which was where it was going to go, and I'm going to review that quickly. And then we knew that once it hit that 1440, as it was said in our daily market report on July 26th, and you guys can go to the daily market report archives on our website, InTheMoneyStocks.com, to view that call, and then that's where we knew the bounce would occur, and that's when the next wave of buying comes in to support the market before our next wave down, probably next week. Alright, folks? So I'm going to quickly review that, and if all of you guys remember this chart from yesterday, this is the SPX chart, and in the daily market report, I'm going to flip over to that quickly here. Alright, folks? This is our daily market report archive page. And you can go InTheMoneyStocks.com and click on Daily Report Archives, and you can see here, July 26th, 2007. And if you go down right here, this is what it says here. We say, right here, technical damage done today, and 1440 is the next likely bounce. That's what we talked about yesterday, saying in our report archive last week on the 26th, and that was dead on. Look at this chart, guys. We hit 1440 here, and look at the rally we got yesterday into the close. All right? So that was the rally we got into the close, folks, and based off of that, this was the rally here yesterday in the NASDAQ. Based off of that, we called yesterday, we said, guys, be ready for a move up here. That was a strong buy program. We hit our first target, our target 1 for the drop, and now we need to have buying come in to support this market because, again, you guys know I'm huge on being a contrarian. All right, always got to think opposite of the group. So there's too many people. When we got down to 1440, everyone was bearish. Everyone, oh, this is going to, we're going to zero or whatever. We're not going to zero, folks. But we are going to correct even more. But at that point, the market needs to rebounce to take the money out of all those shorts hands, so we can start to push down when everyone gets long again. And it's annoying. I mean, I feel so bad that that's the way it is, but that's how the market works, guys. When everyone believes it's one way, the market will go the opposite way because the big boys have to win. And the big boys are few, but they have the most money. So they're going to take the majority of people's money, the amateurs, the average investors' money, and they're going to push it up until everyone goes long again, and then that's the point when we're going to fall. So next week, we think that's going to be the point, all right? We're going to kind of trade in a pattern here. We need to have a little down pattern here. We're going to, basically, if you guys watch my mouse here, we came down hard like this, all right? And then you're going to have a little push up here, kind of a correction, which we've had the last 2 days now. Then we're going to have a little push down, just a little one, and then another move up where everyone goes long, and then boom, right down we go, okay, guys? And here, we're just going to show the NASDAQ on the daily chart here, and you guys can see that move. Again, everyone's panicking down here as we're at that 1440 mark on the SPX, where we called the first target one, where we said a bounce would occur, which we were dead on, guys. Again, dead on. And we got the huge bounce and then a continued rally today. Again, we might rally up tomorrow a little bit, but in general, it's going to be flat trading. We need another pullback over the next, either Friday or Monday. We're going to have a small pullback, one more push up, and then a fall, guys, all right? And the fall is going to be drastic. We're talking about revisiting the lows in February at this point, at which point we'll get another bounce, and then we do think we're going lower from there. All right, folks? I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but what I think the trigger point, and this is my opinion only, but right now everyone knows subprime credit, the credit issues. AHM just announced they were going out of business as of tomorrow, shutting the doors. That stock's in the toilet right now, down to 80 cents or 70 cents at this point, I think. Let's actually do a quick check on that, AHM, and I'll bring that in. Here's the level 2 on this, guys, and you can see 71 cents by 7, well, now 68 by 70, and it's just going down. We closed at $1.45 today after being as high as $2.60, I think, and by 3 o'clock or so they announced. Let me put up the chart for you all to see. All right. Look at this. Look at this intraday move, guys. All right, 145 all the way up. This chart shows went to as high as 460, but that wasn't, I don't think, a real print. But we did get up as high as here, which is about $3, I think. Then we came all the way. Then they announced it right here. They were closing doors tomorrow, and the stock just fell, and it keeps falling after hours. All right, so as I said, the subprime issue is a huge issue, folks. Not going away. But I think the catalyst for the next move is going to be when they realize it's spreading into prime. And then they also realize that Goldman Sachs, the guys that insure these loans, these are the ones that are going to take the next hit. And keep in mind, guys, the biggest issue here is the derivatives. I won't go into derivatives because we don't have enough time here, but derivatives is the key here, guys. These are derivatives of derivatives of derivatives of loans, and they don't even, half the people out there don't even understand what they are, but they basically, it's like kind of owning a baseball bat of Barry Bonds and he breaks the record, or something like that. It's like an offshoot of an offshoot, all right? And that's going to be basically the next fall, is that all these guys that have been banking on derivatives for years and years, these derivatives are going to collapse. And the next trigger, I think, next week or the following week, when we do begin our next leg down, is going to be when it spreads to prime. Because from what I've heard, just in the next couple months, prime rates are going to adjust on all these arms, huge amounts, all right? You're going to have major adjustments. And even people with prime credit here, guys, it's just too much. These adjustments are going to be very ugly, and people are going to get hurt, all right? And it's unfortunate, and I hate to see it, but the market needs to correct here, and this is going to be the catalyst. All right, so let's go back to the NASDAQ chart again here and just analyze. Let's do a little intraday analyzation here. And what we can see here is, see this pattern here, guys? And I'm going to do a little analysis here for everyone. Trend tool here. Look at this. Those of you guys that know a little technical analysis, you guys will know what this pattern is. It's a W. And what was then we form a V, which we started to today, which makes me think that tomorrow we'll continue this pattern and shoot up. All right, we're not going to shoot up big, but we need to complete the V, and then we can come in. All right, so I do think tomorrow we're going to push up in the morning, and then maybe sell off in the afternoon. You know, we're not really sure whether we're going to just end flat or slightly positive or slightly negative, but it's not going to be drastic unless major news of another bankruptcy in this subprime lender arena comes out, or these derivatives start to fail and all that stuff. Alright, folks, so just notice the pattern. This is telling us that we should have a push-up tomorrow at some point in the early morning, whether it's pre-market or right at the open, we're not sure. And then also, we can also look at other things, alright? Let's go to the intraday the daily chart on the NASDAQ. You can see this big drop, and this is the A, okay, folks? A pattern down, alright, and then you're getting this B pattern up, which B, the whole pattern of A has little A and B, C patterns in between. And the B pattern up should continue up a little more. We should get up to about this point here, just up here. But in this pattern, you're going to have one day where it kind of pushes down here. All right, down a little bit, and then we're going to take off to the upside again. All right, right back up. Probably we might test this 50 moving average. I'm not sure, but keep an eye on that 50 moving average. That's going to be major resistance there. All right, we're not going to get through that. I cannot see us trading through that. But we might get up and touch that on the NASDAQ, and then the next fall will happen. Also notice the stochastics. All right, we're starting to move up on the stochastics. That's going to give leverage to the next fall because the stochastics need to come off the bottom so they can fall again. Okay, folks, what I'm going to do now is just go to another chart here. We're going to go to the ES, quickly look at that. Again, you can see the W pattern here in the ES, and then the V starting here. And then also what I want to do is just summarize yesterday. Again, I told you what I'm expecting for tomorrow. I told you how accurate our calls have been, and we shouldn't have the next big leg down until next week, again, and I'm going to say that one more time. But what I do want to go over is a couple of our calls from yesterday. NCST I talked about. All right, look at this move up early in the morning. It was up as much as 10%. Phenomenal move. It closed about flat. It closed up 5 cents. That was needed as a bounce. Look at this chart, folks, right on the 20 moving average. I love the bounce off that. All right, these are all part of the Swing Trade Alert package on the website or in the day trading chat room. You get all this advice and analysis for $200 a month, folks. You get live one-on-one pretty much trading advice. Phenomenal. All right, the other one was SBEI we talked about. Another nice little move up here. You can see trading up again. Traded off, basically ended up 7 cents. And the other one was ANTP. All right, I'm holding a bunch of little stocks into tomorrow because I do think we're going to have another push up over the next few days. We're holding some ANTP. SBEI, all right, we're also holding LOCM, and we're also holding some, here, let me figure that, TRMP. All right, look at this chart, guys. Look at this chart. Trump Entertainment Resorts is down from 17. Huge sell-off. It's going to bounce, all right, folks, and we're going to try and catch it here for the bounce as the market hardens here on a move up, all right? So that's another one we're looking into, and we're holding a small position in that. And those are the ones we're holding, all right? We're holding 4 stocks into tomorrow: ANTP, LOCM, SBEI, and TRMP. I'm not worried as much about the day trades because those will come later on. We're doing those constantly during the day, and we're just scalping $100, $200, $300 off the table in different plays during the day. Once again, guys, join up. We have the intraday stock chat, phenomenal one-on-one almost. We got the swing trade alerts where you're going to get analysis of many of these trades and better ones too. And we also have the consulting's key, and we also are doing webinars, guys. So email me at gareth@inthemoneystocks.com. That's GARETH@inthemoneystocks.com if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.